Welcome to the Old Time Radio Westerns. I'm your host, Andrew Rhynes, and let's get into this episode. This episode is going to be the Cisco Kid. Original air date is April 1st, no joke, 1958, and the title is Fright at Devil's Canyon. Let's get into it, and I hope you enjoy.
Here's adventure. Here's romance. Here's the famous Robin Hood of the Old West.
Cisco, the sheriff, he is getting closer.
This way, Poncho, vámonos.
The Cisco Kid.
Have you ever watched a youngster standing before a candy counter, looking everything over with a critical eye? That nickel he has to spend is as important to him as $1 to us. And he wants to make sure of what he buys before he buys. And that's always smart buying. Take bread, for example.
Tut, tut, nothing but butternut bread.
With butternut bread, you can always see what you buy before you buy. You can always be sure of the richest, most appetizing bread on your grocery shelves. No guess, no squeeze, no doubt. Yes, if you like good flavor, you'll like butternut. And if you like soft, fine, tender bread, you'll like butternut. And most important, if you like bread that's fresh when you buy it and fresh when you eat it, you'll like butternut for sure. Because butternut bread is baked to stay fresh longer. And as we said before, you can see and be sure when you look at butternut's blue and white check gingham picture wrapper.
Now the Cisco Kid in our gripping story, Fight at Devil's Canyon. Devil's Canyon, about 25 miles west of Winslow, Arizona, was the scene of much trouble in the railroad building days. In addition to the problem of spanning the Great Gorge, 500 feet wide and 225 feet deep, the railroad encountered opposition from cattlemen who feared that an influx of population would break up their grazing lands. Even such cattle rustlers as Hatcher Hollis and Donnie Burton opposed the railroad. As our story opens, Hatcher and Donnie are waiting on a bush-grown rise of ground overlooking the newly laid rails 100 yards or so east of the canyon.
They got them rails laid right at the edge of the canyon, hey, boss?
That's why the construction crew's not working today, Donnie. Taking the day off to celebrate. Also to wait for more rails to get to camp. They're doing today, I understand.
And the crew will start working west from the other side of the canyon, eh?
Yeah. And the bridge construction crew starts work next week, blast 'em.
But Hatcher, listen, after the bridge is built, we can always blow it up.
It's right now I'm interested in. And construction engineer Fred King's getting this railroad built too fast to suit me.
You don't like him anyway, boss, since he kicked us out of the camp for trying to start a couple of card games.
A sidewinder.
If he shows up out here today, we'll get him. Old Smokey's a good rifle. She shoots straight.
And it's hard enough to rustle cattle in these parts as it is. Wait till the confounded railroad brings in 10 or 20 times as many people.
That's doggone unfair, the railroad. Hey, boss, there's King down there now, and his daughter ain't with him.
I guessed right, Donnie. He did ride out from camp today to inspect the job.
Working every minute, that hombre. Shall I get him, Hatcher?
Go ahead. Take your time now.
Get him plumb center, old Smokey. Get him now. Get him.
Nice shooting, Donnie. You sure did get him. That'll slow the coyotes down some.
Now, if we can only steal them rails after they get in...
We'll talk about that later. Come on, let's get out of here.
But Cisco, if Jose not know what make the bridge stay up, Jose not can ride and tell Poncho.
I will try to explain, Jose, when we get to the canyon.
How you explain if there is no bridge yet?
I said I would try to explain, amigo. Enough so you, in turn, can explain to your nephew, Poncho.
It's no fun for Poncho to have measles and mumps and chickenpox so long as Jose write the letter to Poncho every day.
I know he is glad to hear from you, Jose.
Jose, tell about the bridge. And then tell about trouble Cisco had in the cafe last night with Senor King.
Oh, that was only a misunderstanding.
You think you throw that enchilada that hit his daughter, the senorita?
See, Jose,
Then he
but...
grab you by the shoulder, try to put you out of the cafe. You make him sit down very hard, no?
He was hot-headed about it, I must admit.
Oh, he still think you throw that enchilada.
Perhaps. It makes no difference. We will continue on to Flagstaff after we see the canyon. I want to stop at the Devil's Canyon camp so you could see the building of the railroad, Jose.
Oh, Jose, glad to see you too, Cisco. Oh, what the matter, loco?
You see something in the trail up ahead. What the hell?
Oh, loco. Oh, the senor lay there. Jose seen him before.
Yeah. Looks like Senor Fred King. Santo, so it is.
He dead, Cisco?
See, he's been shot. Only a short while ago. Not more than half an hour.
What we do?
I will look around for clues, Jose. You ride back to camp and get the sheriff's deputy. Tell him to let the senor's daughter know.
Aye, look, Cisco. Jose not need to ride back to camp now.
Dad! Oh boy. Dad! Oh, Dad! Dad!
Who got him, Cisco?
I have no idea, Senor Deputy.
We just come along. He lie there in the trail.
They're lying, Deputy. The killers. I know the Cisco Kid was out to get Dad when I saw him and his partner right out of camp and in the direction he'd taken.
But, Senorita,
Don't talk to me. You murderers. That's why I went to tell you we better follow them, Deputy.
Is something wrong here? We not killed...
I'll do the talking, mister. Better let me have your guns. You too, Cisco.
Are you saying we killed Senor King, Deputy?
I'll put it this way, Cisco. I aim to ask a lot of questions back at camp. Now, I'd like them guns without any trouble.
Very well.
Here Jose's guns too, Senor Deputy.
You killed him just on account of that little bit of trouble last night.
You are wrong, Senorita.
You did kill him. You did. You know you did. And I'm going to see that you go to prison for it.
What do you think of that, boss, huh? That deputy arresting them two hombres is pretty lucky for us.
It is, if he arrested him for the murder of Fred King.
But he did. We was watching. We saw him arrest him.
We saw it from a distance, Donnie. We can't be sure.
I think that's why he arrested him.
Well, I think so, too. He took their guns, but he didn't put any handcuffs on them.
From what I hear, it ain't easy to get handcuffs onto that Cisco Kid.
Now, let's stop here and see where the deputy takes him.
Whoa. You suppose they know we've been following them back this here camp?
No, we've been keeping our distance. Now, look, Donnie. He's taking him into the jail shack.
Reckon that proves it.
Well, anyway, we better take advantage of it.
How?
Well, them construction workers thought a lot of Fred King.
Yeah, I guess they did, boss.
And they don't know he's dead.
What do you think they'd do, Hatcher, if we was to go over to that cafe now and tell them Fred King was murdered?
What do you think they'd do?
They'd want to get the hombres that got their boss.
Yeah. Especially that big fighting fool of a foreman, Sean O'Toole. Come on, Donnie. Get there.
Yeah. Them hombres are having a mighty good time in that cafe.
They'll be ready for trouble. Whoa. Yeah, we'll see if we can stir them up to trouble.
Right, boss. Better be careful what you say, Hatcher. That big O'Toole hombre don't like us.
See here, you two. Mr. King don't want you hanging around. Now get!
We came to bring you news, O'Toole.
News, is it? And what news would you be bringing to Sean O'Toole?
Fred King is dead.
He's what?
He's dead, murdered.
Oh, bad cess you. Stop the noise, you roustabouts. Now stop it. These two bring the word that Mr. King has been murdered. What?
That's right. The deputy arrested the Cisco Kid and his partner. He's got him over to the jail shack now.
By the power, it is I who'll beat the life out of the both of them with me bare hands.
Wait a minute, there's a better way. Swing him at the end of a rope.
How is it you two are out to avenge Mr. King?
Well, maybe he didn't appear to like us, but he done us a couple of favors just the same.
Perhaps that lynching is bad business.
So is murder, O'Toole. Come on, let's get that Cisco.
sign that confession.
No, senorita. We have nothing to confess.
Let me see what you've written there, Miss Phyllis. I hereby confess to the murder by a gunshot of Fred King at the place known as...
There is no need to read more, Senor Deputy. Again, I tell you, mi compañero and I did not kill Senor King. Once more, I point out that Jose and I came upon the body by accident.
That the very truth, senorita. So help Jose, no?
Sounds like it to me, ma'am.
Well, if these two men didn't kill my father, then who did?
That remains to be seen. If you'll withdraw your charges against these two, I'll get out and start looking.
Oh, I don't know. I still think they did it.
Do you know of any enemies your father had, senorita?
No, I don't believe he had any out here. Of course, I don't know for sure. I just came west with Dad to cook and keep house for him when he was put on this job. I didn't pay any attention to his associates or the men under him.
Then if you not pay attention, senorita, how you know Cisco, the bad hombre?
I've heard talk and I remember the name. I heard this Cisco Kid called one of the worst killers in all the Southwest.
Yeah, on the other hand, ma'am, a lot of people, including me, has heard Cisco goes out of his way to uphold the law.
Gracias, Senor Deputy. Jose and I will be glad to help you track down the killers.
No, Deputy. I charge these two men with murdering my father. I insist that you lock them up.
Un momento, if you please. Listen.
Jose not like the sound of that, Cisco.
No, it's not so good.
Oh, it's just a few of the construction crew.
I have heard that sound before, senorita. It was made by a lynch mob.
No doubt about that, Cisco. I've heard it myself.
A lynch mob? Oh, but that's fantastic.
Maybe after us, Cisco.
But why, and how would they know? We came right here to this jail shack. We didn't tell anyone.
Let me go out and see, Deputy.
You stay right where you are. Don't forget, Cisco Kid, I know how to use this gun.
Well, Deputy?
Stay here for now, Cisco.
If that mob is after Jose and me, we will not be caught napping in this jail shack.
You heard what I said, Cisco Kid.
Senorita, so far, I have kept my temper with you. Say no more or I may lose it.
I'll go out, Cisco. And I give you my word. If I think they're going to rush this place after you and your partner, I'll turn you loose. All right, you hombres. Now, that's near enough. Now then, what do you want?
We want the Cisco Kid and his partner.
What for?
For killing Fred King.
How do you know about it, Hatcher?
Well, me and Donnie saw you riding in with King's body. We saw you holding guns on Cisco and his partner.
Yeah, and two makes four, Deputy.
You heard that, senorita?
Yes, but they wouldn't lynch you.
I do not agree.
Jose's scared, Cisco.
Senorita, you can do what you like with that gun, but I am going out and talk to those hombres.
Jose, go too.
Senores, listen to me. Mi compañero and I have killed no one.
Sure now. And what about that, Deputy?
Well, we don't know yet, but...
well, it's enough for me. I'm getting my hands on that Cisco Kid right now. The modern spat peel.
Aye, here they come, Cisco.
Get on board!
Yeah, I'll get the Cisco myself and pound him to a pulp.
Now stand back.
Stand back, Doctor. Now, Cisco.
You want to fight, hombre? You will get it. I promise you that.
Strike a good hard blow, Cisco.
Rush him, boys. Go on!
No. Get back, you terrors. I'll do this with my own hands.
I'll get him from behind. You coyotes. That's the stuff, Donnie. I'll grab the other one. I'll give this deputy.
Oh.
Good work, boys. Now we got the sidewinders.
Are you men crazy? Let them go this minute. There won't be any lynching around here.
Have no fear, senorita. They are not going to lynch us.
How about that, boys? You're tooting right we are. Come on, let's go.
Never have our friends been in greater danger of losing their lives. In just a moment, we'll return to the Cisco Kid.
For the finest thing that ever happened to a slice of toast, be sure to buy and try the new butternut wheat bread. What a wheat this is. Soft, tender, real wheat flavor. And best of all, like all butternut bread, butternut wheat is fresh. Fresh when you buy it, fresh when you eat it. Yes, try it for toast right this week. Crisp, crunchy, golden brown. The finest thing that ever happened to a slice of toast. Try butternut wheat at dinner time, too. Butternut's flavor blends with all other foods, adds a zip and a tang to any meal. And have you heard? Like butternut white bread, butternut wheat is yours to buy without a guess, a squeeze, or a doubt. Because, yes, sir, butternut wheat has a true-to-life photo of fresh, honey-colored slices right on the red and white check gingham wrapper. That's your key to easy, sure shopping, smart buying. So look, see, be sure of the finest wheat bread, butternut wheat bread, in the red and white check gingham wrapper. See what you buy before you buy.
Now back to the Cisco Kid and our gripping story, Fight at Devil's Canyon. Bitterly opposed to the building of the railroad, cattle rustlers Hatcher Hollis and Donnie Burton ambushed and killed construction engineer Fred King. When on circumstantial evidence, Cisco and Poncho's uncle Jose were arrested for the crime, the two rustlers talked the hard-bitten construction crew, all but the giant foreman Sean O'Toole, into a lynching mood. O'Toole's objections were swept aside, and the mob took our friends from the deputy sheriff. Now, as Cisco and Uncle Jose stand with hands tied behind their backs.
You can't do this. I tell you, we're not going to have a lynching.
These two murdered your own father, miss.
The law will punish them. Deputy!
Some coyote took my guns.
This deputy ain't gonna help you, miss. After that wallop on the head, he's walking around in a fog.
Another minute I'd have had the Cisco Kid beaten to a pulp.
Out of the way, O'Toole. Come on, boys. We'll swing him from the limb of that big pine tree.
You coward!
We in the bad pickle, Cisco. What do we do? Was they not want to be lynched?
Neither do I, Jose. I'm trying to think.
Got the hands tied, not can get away.
I've just thought of a plan, Jose. If it works and I can grab a couple of guns from one of those hombres, we may be able to get away.
But you got the hands tied too, Cisco.
See, but one thing these hombres like to see is a good fist fight. Perhaps I can fool them into untying my hands.
All right, here we are. Get the ropes around their necks, boys.
Un momento, hombre! You're not going to allow us a last word?
Well, hurry up with it, then.
I am sorry for just one thing. That I did not have a chance to finish the fight with that big blowhard.
Why, you blabbering polecat! What was that word you called me?
A blowhard, hombre. And that is what you are. In 5 minutes' time, I could have you stretched flat on the ground, beaten.
Jose, hope it works, Cisco.
We will see. At least the big one is fighting mad now.
No man ever bragged he could beat Sean O'Toole without having his chance. Take them ropes off of that bragging Cisco Kid.
No! We didn't come here to watch a fight.
I'll take the ropes off him myself.
No, you don't, O'Toole. It may be a trick.
Out of my way, both of you. All right, make a big circle, boys. I'll have you loose in a minute to eat your words. There, Cisco Kid. Now, up with your hands.
See, hombre? Come ahead.
I'll do, and quick.
Cisco, he knocked him into the crowd.
So he did, Jose.
Hey, what are you doing?
And I now have Hatcher's two guns. Stand where you are, every last man of you. Unbuckle your gun belts. Drop them, quick.
You're bragging quitter, Cisco. Then it was a trick.
See, O'Toole, we'll finish the fight another time.
The deputy come these ways, Cisco.
Let me get a couple of them guns. I'll hold this mob back, Cisco. Hadn't ought to do this, but now get going.
I will not forget this help, Senor Deputy. Cut Jose loose. Then we will leave.
I stand back, you buzzard. First man makes a move, I'll drill him.
There you are, Jose.
Gracias, Cisco. Now Jose can take a deep breath again.
If I were you, senores, I would find out why those two coyotes wanted us lynched. For the time being, hasta la vista.
Come in, Sean.
I thought I saw you help the deputy into this jail shack, ma'am.
Yes, that blow on the head from a gun butt hurt him badly.
I'll be all right in a few minutes.
It was a hard blow, I thought. But, ma'am, I came here to speak my sadness at the death of your father.
Oh, that's kind of you, Sean.
He was a fine man and a hard worker. Also, I want you to know I was not in favor of that lynching.
I know you weren't.
Even though the Cisco tricked me, I'm glad he got away.
I wish I could believe he was innocent.
It's not the nature of a man like him to kill or ambush.
Then who could it have been?
I aim to question, Hatcher Hollis and Donnie Burton.
My idea, too. The scallywags got away in the excitement. Donnie grabbed up his guns, too.
I want whoever did it brought to justice, and I... Sean, come over here to the window.
Well, so 'tis the two weasel faces down by the railroad siding.
What? Hatcher and Donnie? I'll go get 'em.
You stay right where you are on that cot, Deputy.
But, Miss Phillips...
You heard what I said.
I'll go down and see what they're up to. Then I'll come right back and tell you, Deputy.
I'm going with you. I'll be right back, too, Deputy.
You better be staying right here, Colleen.
I'm going with you. It'll just be a minute. Let's make sure they don't see us.
All I want is to meet up with that Cisco Kid. I'll gun him down so quick he won't know what hit him.
Well, you better wait till you get your own guns back, Hatcher.
Well, I got one of yours. That'll do it. The sidewinder throwing suspicion on us.
After we get rid of that new load of rails, we better clear out. Some of them boys believe what Cisco said. They may come looking for us any minute.
I'll let him come. I ain't in no mood to be trifled with.
Well, here's them rails, Hatcher. All stacked up on them flat cars, with the locomotive still hitched on.
Yeah. Crew must have gone to the cafe to get something to eat.
Sure would be a good chance to run that whole load to the end of the tracks and clear down into the canyon.
By thunder, that's what we'll do.
Hold on, Hatcher.
What?
Somebody just went behind the big tool shed. Just saw him out of the corner of my eye.
Spying on us?
I ain't sure. They could be, though.
Tell you what. We'll walk back past the tool shed as if we didn't know nobody was there. Then we'll make a quick dash with our guns drawn.
All right, boss.
Come on.
I think one of them was that girl.
Shh, careful. We better round the boys up to start hunting for that Cisco Kid, Donnie.
It's a good idea.
Ain't no doubt in my mind but what he killed Fred King.
Ain't any in mine either. You ought to be made to pay for it.
Now, draw your gun, Donnie. Yeah. Get your hands up, you two, quick!
You coyote, Hatcher.
Put that gun away. Sean and I want to talk to you about my father's murder.
Oh, is that so? Well, now, ain't that nice?
I believe they are the killers of that, Miss Phyllis.
What you two believe ain't gonna hurt us, O'Toole.
Not a bit. We'll tie these two, Donnie, and then carry out your idea.
Put them on the locomotive, huh?
Yeah. Then we'll get the train going and jump off. Sure will be quite a smash down in the bottom of that canyon.
How soon we ride back to the camp, Cisco?
After it gets dark. Would not be wise to go back now.
Jose not want to come that close to lynching again.
That is why we are going to wait until dark before we go back down there, amigo.
Poncho tell his Uncle Jose not to let Cisco get into trouble, too. Poncho not like it if we take more chances.
We'll be very careful, Jose. But I intend to stay around here until we find the killers of Senor King. Hey, here's a spring of water. How about a drink, Jose?
Hey, it's a good idea, Cisco. Oh, loco.
Oh, diablo. Oh.
Look, he's trained down there, Cisco.
See. Oh, that is strange. Now, why should they be taking that load of rails to the eastern side of the canyon? There's no way to get them across from there.
Have to freight them around in big freighter wagons, no?
See, but not from the very edge of the canyon. Hey, look at that, Jose. An hombre jumps in the locomotive.
No other hombre jump.
Something is wrong there. Come on, amigo. Up, diablo, come.
Go, loco. Go now, go. Why those hombres jump off locomotive, Cisco?
Maybe to wreck the train in the bottom of the canyon. Up, diablo. Ha!
Go, loco. Go now. Train go faster, Cisco.
See, picking up speed every moment. But I think we can overtake it. Diablo, ha!
Now we gain on train.
See, we're almost there.
Cisco, you jump on the locomotive?
See, I'm going to try. Force it, Diablo. Bueno. Now we'll see if we can make that jump. Madre mia. Senorita and Senor O'Toole. Bound and gagged.
Hurry, Cisco. Stop the train. Canyon get near now.
See, Jose.
I better jump, Cisco. Not going to stop in time.
I must stop it in time.
Oh, too close call. Jose all weak in the knees. Oh, loco. Oh.
Yeah, let me set these people free, Jose. Then we'll find out who those hombres were. Yeah, there's one gag removed. And There's the other one.
So it is you again, Cisco.
Oh, I never was so glad to see anyone in my life.
Now cut these ropes. First you, senorita. Then you, Senor O'Toole.
It was that Hatcher Hollis and Donnie, what's his name, Cisco?
Cisco, here come bandidos. They must have run back for their horses.
Bueno, this saves us the trouble. I'm looking for them.
We'll teach you to buddy, Cisco.
Come down off that horse over me. Now you can start the lesson.
You maverick.
Not that way, bandito. This way. Up.
That's one of them, Cisco.
Now you, down off your horse, too.
Hey!
Let us waste no time with you, bandito.
Oh, wait, Cisco. Don't be hogging all the fight.
I see no point in waiting, O'Toole. I want to capture this bandito.
Oh, you capture him, Cisco. Knock him cold, no?
I was getting ahead of me, are you, Cisco? Grateful as I am to you, I still think I'm the better man, and this'll prove it. Now put up your hands.
John, stop it.
Very well, O'Toole. We will settle this right now.
No!
Well, that makes 3 in a row.
Oh, I'm ashamed of him, Cisco, after you saving our lives.
I bear him no ill will, senorita. He's a fine, honest fighting man.
Hey, you all right, Miss Phyllis? One of the boys told me about that runaway train.
Yes, I'm fine, Deputy, but you shouldn't be here.
No, I'm all right now. And I sure am indebted to you, Cisco.
The feeling is mutual, Senor Deputy. And here are 2 bandidos for you and the law.
Cisco,
Si, Jose.
you read this letter from Poncho's mamacita?
I have not had time, amigo. What does the letter say?
He say, Poncho, glad we got the bandidos. Then he'd say, Poncho, think the senorita and Senor O'Toole have very narrow escape.
So they did, Jose.
And then Poncho's mamacita write what Poncho say when the men bring some dogs for Poncho to look at.
Oh, you mean to buy?
See, Cisco, see. Poncho look at dogs and he say, how much is one of those dogs?
Si.
The man say, it's 2 pesos apiece.
2 pesos apiece. And what did Poncho say to that?
He say, but Poncho not want a piece. Poncho want the whole dog.
Oh, Jose!
Oh, Cisco! And so ends another exciting adventure with O. Henry's famous Robin Hood of the West, the Cisco Kid.
In the shortest words possible, everyone knows if it's
Tut, tut, nothing but butternut bread.
yes, if it's butternut, it's extra fresh. Fresh when you buy it, fresh when you eat it. Just try a loaf and see. Pick up any blue and white check gingham picture wrapper and see that freshness even before you buy. A rich, true-to-life photo of butternut's fresh white slices right before your eyes. No guess which bread is finest. No squeeze to test for freshness. And no doubt which bread you like. You'll love butternut bread. Everybody does. They like butternut for crisp golden toast, for the tastiest, richest sandwiches ever put in a lunchbox. And of course, butternut always makes a hit at mealtime. You might say butternut is virtually guaranteed to step up and pep up those family appetites. Folks who appreciate real bread flavor always buy
Tut, tut, nothing but butternut bread.
butternut bread in that blue and white check gingham picture wrapper. See what you buy before you buy.
Be sure to listen again for another thrilling adventure of the Cisco Kid. Cisco Kid was played by Jack Mather, Poncho by Harry Lang.
This has been a presentation of OTRWesterns.com, and we hope you enjoyed. Please take some time to like and rate our shows in your favorite podcast application. Follow us on Facebook by going to OTRWesterns.com/Facebook. Join in the conversation by going to OTRWesterns.com/Discord. And don't forget to send us an email, podcast@OTRWesterns.com. This episode is copyright under the attribution, non-commercial, share alike copyright. For more information, go to OTRWesterns.com/copyright. Have a great day, and again, thanks for listening.